Hey, this is Chad. I'm on phase 3 of the project sheet, and I wanted to talk about identity. So identity is a really important phase. It includes your revised logo, your typefaces, both display and body, and your color palette, as well as showing some type of art or style, design style. So this is I'm doing this. This is the manual version or the non-digital version. Since some of you may be going that way, but here's the deal. I mean, if you use the choices made in this identity area, logo, typefaces, color palette, and design style and or art style, in all of your marketing pieces, you're really going to have a really cohesive, strong look in the end. And that's just kind of the way it is. So let's talk about that. So what the first thing is listed on here is creating 10 logo thumbnails. So what I've done, this is the manual way to do it, right? So let's see, let me go to my photos. And so what I've done is I've looked up some, there you go, switch over, there we go. Okay, so I've looked up some different typefaces. These that I found in here were under the condensed serif typeface or font. And so I'm just going to scroll through a couple of these. Now this one obviously isn't a serif, but it's still a decent one to use. So this is a serif condensed typeface, and I thought those might be nice. I really liked this one. So what I did is I've collected these on my phone, and then if we can like look down here, what I've done is kind of sketch them out. So I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so I've kind of sketched these out just off of the phone. So here's one, like this one here is that version, right? So yeah, you can kind of, it's not great, it's not perfect, and I think that's fine. That's the beauty of doing it by hand, is it's not going to be perfect. So yeah, and so this one would be here, and then this one would be here. Didn't turn out great. I don't love that one. That's this one. That's this one, right? Oops. So yeah, you're not really able to see that. So that's this one here. So I have some logos. I have, and then what I did, I needed to look at is my display type and body type. So I've done that here. I thought, you know, if I'm doing a condensed, that's like narrow, a condensed typeface, then I should probably have a condensed typeface for my display, and then something quite readable for my body type. And so I'm just hand doing this. I found something online that I like, and so I just copied it. Didn't turn out great, but it turned out okay. You can still read it nicely. And then this one is kind of narrow and tall. So what I'll talk about next, now that I have 10 logos now, I only have 6, but you need to do 10. What I need to do next is decide on color. So if you're doing this manually, you're going to have to get something to color with. I'm showing you just a couple. So this is a colored pencil version. Here I'm just using my Prisma colors, which is a decent pencil brand. They make nice rich colors, but you can do whatever brand you want. And I put numbers next to them so I knew exactly what colors. So say like my pencils go back in my case, then I could pull them out again and know exactly which ones I'm using, right? Okay, so then this one is the Sharpie marker version. So my Coptics I got rid of because I don't use them. which would be a better marker, but you know, it's total, you know, these Sharpies are fine. They'll work out well. And so will Crayolas, even if you get a nice full set. But here are my Sharpies. I got a bunch of thick ones, and then I got a thin one for my type. So it kind of, hopefully it matches that. I thought it would. Yeah, it matches that pretty good. So I can like do my thin type and thin drawing with that. And I think it would be ideal if you got maybe a thin with some other ones. Anyway, you're going to have to get some type of manual coloring thing if you don't. Like if you're not doing this on the Adobe Creative Cloud, you really do have to get something to color with. So this one, this is a watercolor version. And I just noted in here that, so this one you can see I used Prisma, but you could use whatever you want. This is Sharpie. Sharpies don't have a name with them, so I just had to use them in whatever I had. And then this is watercolor, and I had to mix these to get these colors, so I didn't like buy the tubes that were exactly these colors. I had to mix, and maybe this one I had to put an extra layer of color on to darken it. So I had to on this one as well. But this one was one coat, and that one may have been one coat. And I just had different brands of watercolor. Let me know if you want to see like a more detailed instruction on the watercolor. But all in all, let me get back to, let me zoom out a little bit so we can see what I'm suggesting here. We have the logos, the typeface, and colors. And you only need a set of 3 to 5. And remember where we can get that. If you want a good reference for colors, is it adobe.color.com? If you look up Adobe Color, it'll give you a link. And if you remember, I did this in class where there are a bunch of samples people have submitted, and also samples that come from photos. So I'm actually not going to look it up right now, but good place to go for typefaces. Just Google image search, and then you can copy them down. I'll talk about art style next time, but this is part of your identity.